You come over to my house and you see me looking out the window at an empty tree branch. What are you doing, Sam, you ask? Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I'm observing this bird, very rare species for science, and I need to go to a doctor's appointment for about half an hour. Can you stay and watch this bird? Don't take your eyes off of it, and I'll give you a pad of paper. You can write down any of your observations. Okay, sure, you say. Great, I'll be back in about half an hour. Remember, don't take your eyes off the branch. And I leave. What do? Do you stay there sitting for half an hour looking at an empty tree branch because I told you there was a bird there and it's very important to me? Or do you go about doing whatever it is you were going to do, and when you hear me coming home, you run back to the window and you look out at the branch? The question is a question of trustworthiness. In this week's parasha, we read about Eliezer, Abraham's servant. Abraham sends Eliezer on a mission to find a wife for Yitzchak. Now Rashi tells us Eliezer didn't want to do this. Eliezer really wanted his own daughter to marry Yitzchak. Nevertheless, says the Torah, Eliezer goes and he even prays for the success of the mission. Indeed, Eliezer is successful, he finds Rivka, and the rest is history. What allows somebody to be so trustworthy in the face of such immense psychological and emotional pressure? The answer is a shared version of reality. Eliezer and Abraham both believed in the same things. They both understood that it was important to be trustworthy. They both understood that what was supposed to happen would happen. And they believed in that with all of their faith. And so Eliezer, as much as he wanted or could have had an opportunity to lie, to change the story, to come back to Abraham and say, I didn't find anybody, sorry, but here's my daughter. He didn't do any of that because he and Abraham both shared a vision of what it meant to live in the world. And this is exactly the problem with the story we opened up with. I think there's a bird on an empty branch. You don't. We're seeing different versions of reality. And so you have no reason to do what it is that I've asked you to do. You know there's no bird there. You can just sit there, and when I come home, you can say, yeah, of course I was there the whole time. I'll never know the difference, and it doesn't affect anything in the real world anyways. In order to rebuild the trust that seems so broken in our society, we need to work together to build a shared version of reality, a shared understanding of what it means to live as a human being in this world. Once we're able to come to an agreement about what our basic values are, then we're able to build trust. But until we can do that, we're going to be living at each other's throats, constantly mistrusting the other one, constantly thinking the other one's trying to pull a fast one. To rebuild society, to rebuild trust, we need to start conversing with one another again. We need to start rebuilding up a version of what it means to live a good life. Shabbat Shalom.